I'm Ellen with blackfilm.com, and today I'm chatting with Darrell Britt-Gibson about his role in the film Silk Road. Hi, Darrell.
How are you? How are you? Where are you in the world?
Well, you'll be surprised to know that I'm in your neck of the woods, Silver
Oh, okay.
Spring.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Silver
That's where I am.
Spring.
Yeah, I know you're from Silver Spring. You're a Maryland native.
Yeah.
So when I found that out, I was like, okay, all right, that's what's up. I can't wait
Oh,
to have
that's
this combo.
awesome. I miss Silver Spring so much.
I'm sure. When's the last time you
Yeah.
were in this area?
So I went home for Thanksgiving and I got like, because I was sort of nervous about going to see my folks,
Yeah,
but I made sure I got like a hotel for a couple weeks, and then I waited to go see, when went and got my test,
sure.
and I finally went to go see my mom and my pops and then my brothers, and it was like so cool. But even my mom hugging me, I was like, ah, mom, like even I had my neck. It was like it's like relearning, how to get on a bike almost.
Isn't
But
that crazy though? Isn't that
it's
crazy
it's
though? It's this whole
wild.
new way of life we got to get used to, but it is what
It's
it
so
is.
wild. Yeah, it's so wild. But yeah, like you said, it is what it is, and we will get back.
Yes, indeed. So listen, I watched Silk Road, and I enjoyed it, and I my mind was low key blown, just based on the fact that it's inspired by true events.
Mm,
And
mm.
it's about the dismantling of Ross Ulbricht's Silk Road, an online black market website created to buy and sell illicit drugs, among other crazy things. Were you aware of this story prior to the script?
So I found out about the story through one of my brothers, who's a screenwriter, and I remember like when the article in the Rolling Stone piece came out. I remember him sending it to me saying, "Well, you gotta read this. This is crazy. Like this is definitely gonna be a movie." And I remember reading it, and I was like, "Oh, this is nuts!
Right.
Like this is for sure about to be a movie." And lo and behold, I the movie is here. But
Yeah.
yeah, I had heard about the story prior to filming, and just remember thinking like, this is unbelievable.
The first thing that came to mind was, in theory, it's a genius idea. In practice, not so much.
Mm,
So, it was interesting to see it play out and to have an in-depth understanding of that, how, that
mm.
entire story. So I'm always curious about how projects find actors. Was your experience like a traditional agent hands you a script, or was there more of a unique story behind that?
It was more traditional.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was also, it was beautiful because when I got to speak, I got the script, and then I had sort of read the script, but I had never met with Tiller, the director, and that is what ultimately for me pushed me to say, let's do this, because he's just such an incredible collaborator, and he's
Mm,
so passionate about his work, and him coming from the documentary world. He's a documentarian. His attention to detail is very present, and but he's so open to ideas from his actors. And so like just speaking with him, any trepidation I might have had about joining was out the window as soon as I met him, because I was like, oh yeah, this is a special director, so I'm gonna jump in this with him.
you knew you were in good hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
how would you describe your character, Rayford, who I enjoyed watching just because I thought he
Mm,
was super quirky, but just super knowledgeable about a whole lot of things?
mm.
How would you best describe him?
I would best describe Rayford as somebody who's probably done things in his past that he regrets, um, but but also has a very unique skill set that probably contributes to why he has done these some regrettable things in his past. And somebody who, like all human beings, is looking for human connection, as
Mm,
strange as that sounds, because the things that he has done in his past has probably ostracized himself from his community, his family. So he's kind of a loner. And so when Jason Clark's character comes into the picture, as much as he might be, reluctant to help this person out, help this person again. Um, he's a human being searching for human connection, and this sort of presents itself to him.
And how did you build Rayford? Was it a
Mm.
character that came to you whole, or did it come to you in a skeletal format and you kind of had to bring him to life?
Well, so Tiller, our director, he has, because he's in that documentary world, he has worked with somebody who does sort of some of the things that Rayford
Mm,
has done. So he connected me with this person, and I got to speak with them, sort of pick their brain a little bit about the ins and the outs and how do you do this and how do you do that, and which was really helpful. And then it was more so me just building from that, and just sort of trying to find the layers and the nuance of who he is,
right.
because I think on paper he can present as one thing, but he's we're human beings, so he's three-dimensional, so he has there's you have to be able to see him in another light, and so I wanted to make sure that that came across in the
Okay.
presentation of him. So it was a little bit of, it was sprinkling in a little bit of everything, the conversation with Tiller, the conversation with the person he connected me with, who getting to meet Jason before we started to film, to learn how he acts, and just sort of putting that all into a pot and trying to create this thing that hopefully stands out.
It definitely stood out. What
Uh,
pieces of you did you pour into that character? Any personal pieces or experiences, or where you're from, or what you've seen that you were able to kind of pour into Rayford?
I think I'd say the thing that I was able to put from a personal standpoint is um it's interesting. I think a lot of it would be sort of his like how quick he is on his feet.
Mm,
I think is that he's very sharp, and he's very much not what you would see, the surface would allow you to see of him. And so I think the thing that I poured the most into, from a personal standpoint, was just how quick he is on his feet, and how he's able to sort of like maneuver in certain spaces, can be. I don't know. I think it was more so just the how quick and sharp he is.
I was talking about the dynamic between your character Rayford and Rick, who's played by Jason Clark, the DEA agent. That was interesting to watch because
Mm,
you guys had some super heavy on-screen chemistry. Like Rick's character was super intense, where yours wasn't
hmm
as intense. And so watching those two
hmm
characters kind of bounce off of each other was, like I said, was interesting. How did your off-screen chemistry inform the on-screen chemistry?
Oh, I think it informed the entirety of it, because it
Mm,
was me and Jason, getting to know each other as people, before we got to know each other as characters,
yeah.
and sort of playing off of who he is and who I am, and sharing stories with each other. We actually, we created a really, really like special bond, that was that it informed us how everything that would happen on screen, and it made it so much easier to do, and it was just such a blast, because he, just being on paper, you look at Jason and me and you're like, what? It's like this oddest pairing, but we just
Right.
would have scenes. There's a scene that got cut where it's just me and him in a bank, and it was like the crew was like cracking up. They were like, "Yo, the crew had to stop. Like, they couldn't stop laughing because it was just me and him." But like, it's like, so it just became this really, really organic thing, and that's a testament to Tiller, who allowed it to become this organic thing, which is what you see on screen, and that's a lot of work done before we got on camera, and we didn't have much time before, but it was a natural sort of chemistry that he and I had, which was a blessing.
That was actually going to be my next question. How much time did you have before to kind of, build on that?
Not much. Not like really nothing. I remember
Wow.
we shot in New Mexico. I flew to New Mexico. I got there. I had them take me to set. I went to set, shook his hand. We talked for like maybe like 2-3 minutes because he was filming, and then that was it. That was it. It wasn't like we had a dinner that we went to, or weeks in
Yeah.
advance where we got to meet and, get to know each other. It was like, you're here, like, let's see what happens. And I know Taylor loves that because I know he's just thinking like, I got these people, I want to see what happens. And that's what I love TR for that. Because it was so cool. Especially, with me and Jason, because it's just me and Jason. All my scenes are just Jason and
Yeah,
I,
that's right.
so
And it
yeah,
was
so we had
authentic.
to make it
It came
work, but it,
across
it
very
worked.
it came
No,
across
thank you.
very
Yeah, it
authentic.
really, like, I mean, yeah, no, that's my guy. Like, Jason's my dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, super cool guy. Like, just like so many stories. He's been in the game, you know what I mean? So he's
Mhm.
so willing to impart his knowledge of it, to people on the come up. Really, really good dude. So it was a pleasure to be working with him in this capacity.
Would you say that Rayford's character experienced inner turmoil for what he had to do versus, based on his, past and what he'd done up until that point, and now kind of being, so to speak, an informant? Is the informant the right word to use
Hmm.
here?
Hmm.
Right. So
Yeah.
was there turmoil with Rayford? Because I don't know that I saw the turmoil. So I'm curious as to whether it was an internal thing that was just supposed to be internal.
Well, no, it's absolutely an internal thing, but I also think because you never get to experience moments with Rayford by himself,
Right.
right? So you're only really seeing moments of Rayford in front of this person and I feel like so much of the presentation of what Rayford gave to Rick is performative, like,
Mm,
in the sense of that, like, I'm not gonna, who can he speak to about like how he really feels about being something that is like the worst thing that you can be, and so, like, for him, I think there, if Rayford had his own film, I think you'd see a lot of the inner turmoil, but I didn't want to sort of, because I think for him, he's in this place where he trusts zero people. He doesn't trust
mm,
Rick, but maybe that's the closest that he can get to trusting somebody. But he's never going to have a heart to heart with Rick about like, today is just a rough day and I hate what I'm doing and I can't believe I did this. There's nobody that he's going to be able to have those conversations with. So the intimate moments that we would see that with would be just Rayford by himself because he can't speak to anybody about this.
yeah, and it's interesting that you bring up the word trust because Rick at some point had to put in a lot of trust
Hmm.
to Rayford in order for Rayford to do what he did for Rick at the end with the bag,
Hmm.
right? Like
Hmm.
that could have gone either way. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, we've just kind of watched this chemistry between these two characters kind of
Mm.
come full circle to a point where this DEA agent is trusting this informant with the bag of money. Like where do they do
Yeah.
that? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
nice to
Yeah.
see that evolution.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and also, you look at Rick, it's like, who else can he trust? It's
Right.
almost like a shot in the dark for him, right?
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm gonna give this money and like I'm gonna hope that you do what I ask, but you could easily take this money and do whatever you want with it. So it's blind trust
Mm,
in both directions, right? And so,
yeah.
like, and both of them hoping that somehow they meet in the middle. And so those little moments are just them meeting in the middle, but it's completely blind trust between both parties.
Wow. And that says a lot. That says a lot about the
Mm.
characters. That says a lot about you as actors committing to that and bringing that to the front screen. And then also as characters committing to
Mm.
each other on that level, having never really known each other.
Yeah,
But you're kind of put in this situation where this is what it is and you got to make it work. So,
gotta make it
uh,
work.
yeah, right. And yeah, I really enjoyed this film. Again, it was informative. It was something that I'd heard of years ago, but didn't really know the ins and outs. So I do appreciate
Mm.
this film and your role and your part in it,
Mm.
which again
Thank
was
you
fun
so
to
much.
watch. And the whole
Yeah,
sneak collection
yeah,
and
yeah,
the crib that you lived in was fly. Like when Rick walked in and he was looking around like, oh, wow, this is dope. In my mind, I was like, this, this is dope.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a
I would
cool
like to
little
learn
spot,
more
right?
about your character. Yeah, I would like to see Rayford like in his own
Yeah,
spin-off situation.
we gonna get that happen. I told Tiller, hey, we need the spinoff. Get on it.
Seriously, I would definitely watch that. We could come back and talk about it again.
Yeah, no, we
Um,
will. Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
so you've been super busy. I mean, you just
Mm,
starred in Judas and the Black Messiah as Bobby
mm,
Rush. Incredible film. It's so dope that
thank
you got
you.
to be a part of that body of
Yeah,
work. My
yeah,
God.
thank you so much.
What else is on the horizon for you as an actor or a writer or
Mm,
producer or a musician? Like, what can we look out
yeah. There's so much, Ellen.
for?
Which is such a blessing, you know.
Yeah, right.
Before I even say a single word about what comes next, I got to start by just saying how much of a blessing it is to have these opportunities, and understanding that this is an extreme privilege and not a right. But what I've got next coming out, I did a trilogy of films called the Fear Street trilogies, which is an R.L. Stein um,
Oh, wow.
YA group of books that's going to be coming out on Netflix. It's 3 films going to be coming out in the summertime. I don't have exact dates yet. I'm working that out now, which is really really exciting and really really cool. That's gonna be really awesome. I'm excited for people to see that. I just I got I'm writing like a something that I don't even know if I'm even allowed to speak about it. So I guess
Okay.
I say less, but it's something really really exciting that I'm gonna be jumping into. I wrote a film called Molly and Frank that we're gonna be getting off the ground this year, which is a love story, which I'm super excited about. And then I wrote 2 other features.
Wow.
Um, in the quarantine that I'm hoping to get off the ground. I got another TV show that I wrote. I'm just
You're all
and
over
I
the
got
place.
I
That's
got an
right.
EP for my music for She Taught
Wow.
Love that's coming out. Yeah, so it's a lot, but it's exciting. And again, it's a tremendous blessing.
Indeed, it is. And just going back to Fear Street real quick, you mentioned
Hmm.
R.L. Stein. I loved R.L. Stein books when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I think I might have had the whole entire collection. So
Goosebumps, right?
right. I can't wait
Yeah,
to see that. And it's a horror film. So this would be your first horror movie?
yeah.
It is.
It is. It's super. Uh, it's so cool. They're so fun. They're like again. I don't even know. I can't wait for people to see them. Lee is an incredible director. She's a supreme boss. She directed
Mm,
all 3 films back to back to back.
wow.
She wrote them. And it's insane what she was able to accomplish. And it's so incredible. Because she deserves all of the flowers that she's going to be getting when these films come out in the summertime. So yeah, it's super exciting. Like that's gonna be like it feels like a little bit of an event type thing where people because Netflix is so massive, so everybody's watching. The world is watching it at the same time. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be really exciting.
I'm looking forward to that as well. And so
Yeah.
you spoke about your EP. And
Hmm.
so is it a group or a band that's called She Taught Love? What's
It's a band. It's a band. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's
And
me and my
and where does the name She Taught Love stem from?
It just stems from just for us, just the idea that anything that we've ever learned, the greatest gifts that we've ever been given, and the biggest sort of inspirations in our life, everything is from women. Everything out, and
Mhm.
how important that just like none of this exists without women.
Wow.
And so and saying she taught love, that she taught love in every capacity, and it's just so important for us to be putting women first, and that like so like anything that you see us accomplish as a band, you have to have the understanding that like it's because of her, whoever she is to us, because women, are the most powerful beings on planet Earth, and we want to be able to honor that. So anything that we do is in honoring the women in our life, and the incredible women in this world.
Wow. That is pretty special, Darrell. Especially, that sort of honor coming from the male species. That's
Oh
big,
no.
you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
women. Yeah, I look. This is I. It's I, I just, we don't exist without women, you know, and women are, you know, again, the most powerful beings on earth. And so I'm going to continue to honor women and put women, you know, in front of me, beside me, wherever women want me to be. I'm gonna be
Mhm.
there every day that I can for women, because they deserve, you know, y'all deserve everything.
Here, here. Yes, yes, we do, Darrell. Yes, we
You
do.
do. You do. You
And
do.
right
You
back at you.
absolutely do.
Right back
No,
at
no,
you.
no. You deserve. I speak about it often, about how, you know, black women are the most disrespected human beings on planet Earth, yet still the most powerful beings on planet Earth. So you know, I'm honored, you know, every time I'm in the presence of the royalty that y'all are.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Darrell, for that. So, Silk Road is already out. You know, folks can watch it on demand on digital. It's definitely a movie worth watching. You are an actor worth watching in it, and
Thank you
everything
so
that you
much.
do. I can't wait to see, you know, where you go to next. I am a fan of yours, and
Thank
just
you so much, Ellen. Seriously.
keep making it do what it do, because we are watching and we are loving it.
No, I will, and I thank you so much.